Yes, my people. Once again, it's Rockstar 860, 860 TV. And today, we are talk about, not really talk about, but we just look at some things with Isat said in the media. Because we know, say, enough people hate upon Isat for how him angle the vybz Kartel case. You know what I mean? And to me, he's not doing nothing wrong. He's doing a lawyer's job. You know what I mean? He's working for his client. He's trying to get his clients freedom. He has to file paperwork, which is the majority of a lawyer's job. You know what I mean? We haven't seen him talk in front of a judge, really. We see him talk in front of the Privy Council. That's about 20% of a lawyer's job. Paperwork is the most important thing. If you don't file paperwork, you can't see the judge. Now I mean, people have to understand this. If you don't file the paperwork, you can't get to the proper jurisdiction of the court that you need to get to. So, when you see Isaac filing his paperwork, that's the lawyer's job, to file paperwork, to work for his client. Know what I mean? So, we just have to take a look at some things that Isaac has said in the media that has gotten people upset. Know what I mean? It's quite strange to me. How can people be upset at a lawyer for doing his job? Most of us who live in a first world country, such as Canada, United States, or England, will see lawyers on their television sets talking about cases that they're doing or cases that they've taken on. And nobody has ever complained. Nobody don't say anything in the United States. Nobody never looked upon Johnny Cochran and said, "Oh, you're talking too much" during the OJ case. Everybody was mesmerized and wanted to hear what Johnny had to say. It was like the show. You know what I mean? A part of the show, I should say. Nobody to cry and talk about Puffy if you was to go to court and the lawyers them come out and say things. Nobody not gonna cry. We're gonna be knowing what's going on in the court, because we're not in the court, most people. There's only quite a few, 20, 30 people, 50 people the most in our courtroom. What the world are gonna know if people don't, or the lawyer don't talk about it? Huh? Why are you upset that Isaac is getting across what's going on without telling what's going on in court directly before it happens? He might speak of something after it happens, but you never hear Isaac talk about the case or what is going on future tense or present tense. He talks about it in the past tense, things that have taken or happened already. You know what I mean? So we not cry about him, just a update with update. Yeah, like Massacre said, give him an update. So Isaac, an update with. Yeah man, Isaac is telling us what's going on. But no for the uno hate Kartel. No for uno no want the Kartel free. So uno crying. Uno don't cry when the Gleaner them, the Star them, the Observer them put out the worst news. Eh? What day with the shit show, the orchestrated show of the armored vehicles pulling up to the court with nobody out there. Them blast that. You know what I mean? Irie FM come out with them bag of lies, but Kartel was granted $3 million bail. Bag of lies. Then would I just grant them 3 million for a case like this? Just 3 million? That's all? And people ran with it. Huh? Really? Yeah, I that no fun no want hear. You no want hear the lies, the foolishness. No, 3 million for 3 man for forward from prison. $3 million, that's all the bill they would have gotten. This high profile case for some men them no want let out of prison if that was the case. But that's not the case, because Isaac never filed for any bail. Isaac filed the habeas corpus, which just simply means bring the men to court and tell them what are they being charged with. What are you holding over their heads? Why you're not releasing these men? That is all Isaac wanted to find out. It's legal. It's in ramifications legally in the merits of the law. He never did anything wrong or conspicuous. No, he's working with the law. The law of the land, the constitution, and the law. On YouTube, in the streets of YouTube, I'm a chat warrior. That means I'm in most people's chats, lives, in the comment box. You know what I mean? That's me put on my warrior skills. Yeah, me a chat warrior. So if me there with my brethren, Gaza Uncle channel, the real Gaza Uncle, make sure to follow him. Or me there over Unruly Tash, big up the Killy Bros, Fry Neck, follow her too. You know what I mean? Or if me do over the dog, Pepper Skull, make sure you follow Pepper Skull too. One team, one dream. Yeah. It's more Brando, music reviews, follow him too. Yeah. That's how we say. One team, one dream, big it up, straight. Yeah, but if me in a them vicinity there, a YouTube street, you see me in a chat. I'm gonna always say, a lawyer's job is paperwork. A lawyer's job is not really talking in front of the judge. But most people don't understand that because they've never been in a court of law anyway. But yeah, on a serious note, another note, Isat is not doing anything wrong. You know what I mean? He's presenting his case in court and he's talking about what happens after the court day if something happened that day. Everything else, he's just talking about law. He's a human rights lawyer. That means that more than Kartel is his clients. You know what I mean? So he must present the knowledge of the law for the regular people. After Kartel case is finished, Isat work now stop. When Kartel is free, Isat have other clients out there. It's a revolving door, a never-ending saga, law and crime. You know what I mean? So when up in arms about Isaac talking about Kartel's case, hope saying up in arms when I talk about him other case them too, what he has to do and he has to perform his duties as a lawyer.
Afraid of the justice system because for a lot of people, I think they feel like the system is more against them than for them.
Well, that is a misconception. You have knowledge is power, they say, but if nothing else, the public needs to be aware of what is in the Constitution. As soon as you start to read the Constitution, people are reconnecting with me now. I was in the law library and I was in the education department.
In prison?
I was getting Jamaicans their GED, teaching them how to read and everything. I'm doing law. I'm there with Donovan Jones. He's actually here in Jamaica. He was one of them Jamaicans, the like brain box. And I'm there learning how to use the books, learning how to use the law, assisting. You know, I knew somebody and they had a life sentence, and you talk to them and you say, "Oh, I can get that all for you, man. Just give me some mackerel and some, some
Wow.
we help you." Right to the court, whatever the court, you hear the name on the intercom and a document come and they say, "Yo, the court accepts the submissions. You no longer have life."
What?
Read.
And that's all because of you.
You did help reduce other people's
Yeah, and
sentence
people
while
was going home and every document me read for myself don't work. And the Jamaican, listen up.
It's true.
You
Don't
just want
represent yourself.
and I learned that,
Yeah.
and even now,
A
every
fool-
time I get
a
my,
fool
every time I'm in,
represents himself,
every
yeah.
time I'm in situation,
Yeah.
I go for the best. I go for the Valrenitas. I go for the John Clarks. I go for the Bert Samuels, because you need a lawyer. You'd be a fool not to have a lawyer.
No,
What is significant is that he never had his day in court. The minute I heard that and reading the report, I realized that there were at least 150 persons who are in a similar situation as George, as Noel Chambers.
over 100.
Yes, over 100. Which is they're deemed unfit to plea. They have mental issues, and so for whatever reason they are not being brought to court. Or certainly, my position is none of those persons are to be in a penal institution. It serves no purpose, and it is.
Tampering just simply means you don't get a fair shot.
How could you ever get a fair shot when there is evidence coming?
No, I get you. I'm just trying to clarify that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that you're innocent.
Well, in the court of law, it's only two verdicts: guilty
And not guilty.
and not guilty.
Isat Buchanan, were you schooled today by Judge Andrea Thomas?
I was 100% schooled did, and here's why.
Schooled or scolded?
Schooled did. What happened today was what I call appreciating, not delaying with judgment. She has given a gift, and I respect Justice Thomas for that. With no delay, she has put into the wheel of motion a possibility to put before the Court of Appeal the issue of the lacuna that I speak of.
Just give us the translation.
Oh, the translation meaning there is a gap in the law. An area where think of space. The men are just in space. Mars is one place, Earth is one place. The breach that they found in with the jury issue.
Right.
So our court is waiting. They're not sitting idly wondering what are we going to do. They know what they're going to do. The court is going to decide whether, if at all, they can order a retrial. So the question that should flow is, why can't they order a retrial?
Okay.
The defense lawyers will make their case, and the prosecution will say, but here's why you should order a retrial. And wherever the balance lies, that's what will be the result.
Okay, so DPP Paul Lewin, she has announced her intention for a retrial for Kartel. What are your thoughts on that?
It's nice. It's really good for TV. What everybody knows. What everybody should
The reason why you consider it.
What you mean?
No.
I feel like say you would have wanted to stretch out as far as possible.
Why?
Forget 64.
As long as we
Let's make
burn
it
up
Worldwide, because there are people who think that he should not be out because they think for some strange reason when it comes to life and it comes to liberty, from where I sit, I am going to say no.
So you can't. So you don't want a retrial. That's what it sounds
It's
like.
not gonna happen.
So would it then be? Would he be then released on time serve, or would it?
No. He's not. There's no time. There's no time. In fact, there's a nice thing in the order when the king signed it that says pay the man them money for their legal fees that they wasted.
How much money does it take to bring a child to the Privy Council? Or is a right of
You
yours?
ever watch Austin Powers?
Yeah.
Dr. Freeze? It's Dr. Freeze? Dr. Evil?
Yeah.
Dr. Evil. Yeah. $20 billion. Yeah.
A lot of money.
A lot. Yeah.
So you do you have to pay them?
What do you mean? As opposed to paying me?
No, I know you get your money, you know.
Oh.
But that's how the courts.
No, as in, so the process, so here's why it appears to be expensive. Remember, they're using pounds. We are using Jamaican money. What do you call Jamaican dollars? Yeah, so they're using pounds and we're using JMP. Oh, I don't know the number.
Jamaican dollars,
Yeah, we're using it's not even Nani again.
Yeah, nice.
Shira? Is it Nani and Sharp? No, yeah, alright. Shira and Sandstone. Yeah. So there's the disparity within the money in terms of the exchange rate. Yeah. Why it seems, because if a lawyer is saying, okay, $10,000 to do an application, 10,000 is like 1.9 $2 million. But it's $10,000. So a $2 million application, and then you have to make 20 of those applications. It just seems like a lot of money. It's a lot of money. But do not be in despair, because they also have facilities called the in pauperis applications, where you make an application to say my rights are, I do have a serious issue, but I am poor, and they facilitate that. Because I've been to the Privy Council before this particular matter with persons that
hardly doing any adjudication for Jamaican cases. And that is not good in a variety of ways. That's not good for the development of our law, because we need a third-tier final court to correct errors that are made in the lower courts. Secondly, from an access to justice point of view, the person who loses their appeal at the Court of Appeal here may have justice on their side, but may not be in a position to take a case to London, to the Privy Council. It's extremely expensive. It's out of reach. for the vast majority of Jamaicans. And this, I'm not even talking about criminal appeals alone, because you have other important matters that, people need to have their rights protected and need to be able to take their cases to the final court. And it's not accessible. You need a visa to go there. You have to stay in London. Very expensive place. Fly there. You have to have Privy Council agents in England that have to be paid in order to file the appeal. So there's a lot that is involved. I mean, a recent appeal, the costs are over $160 million.
In George.
It's a good question, because every time I interact with my criminal clients, it's automatic.
It's like you're living your own experience again.
Over and over. And I communicate with them, and they will tell you, if you meet anyone that I represent, I always tell them, only you can know why you are here.
What is your hope for the justice system on all levels here in Jamaica?
So certainly that the Constitution is at the forefront of all state actors when dealing with the citizens. The prison system is in a state currently where it ought not to be in operation.
Sad reality.
Listen, the court is not as careless as social media, where people, village lawyers and people who can barely read and write just go before a camera and start to be political analysts like they work on CNN and talk about moral turpitude and I have rights. And persons incarcerated, there's a perception that they have no rights. That is not true.
I wanted to know, what was that power line that you put forward for George Apico? The power line, you remember?
So the power line, I just remember that the grounds that we asked for was to say, if the prosecution did not have the file, it must be dismissed for want of prosecution. So the court had the inherent jurisdiction to do that. Similarly, that the prosecutor had the power to enter a null prosecute, which she actually did. But also the most powerful thing in that whole application was the affidavit of George himself. His words, I don't want to die in prison.
You know, and whether he gets out or not, he's always going to be guilty for them. But Kartel knows that.
And I would say this, context matters. A lot of people that have opinions are dunce. I no longer waste my time to have conversations with people. Think about what is in the Constitution and respect the Constitution. If we start the moral argument, some of you will be embarrassed. Shut up, sit down, and respect the Constitution.
Well said, Isat. So people who've been through the criminal justice system anywhere in the world understands what you're saying. Court and laws and process of time is a thing in the court system. Know what I mean? Like, comment, share, subscribe. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Hope you like my content. Help me build the community. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'm out.